Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Pits of Motor Chaos. This is yours, Dave. We're going all the way to Cali to talk to Randy Winkle. How you doing, Randy?
I'm doing good. How are you, Dave?
Good. So how's the weather on California?
I'm going to say fair and partly cloudy.
Is it good for
Not bad.
good drag racing weather?
It is, yeah. It for sure be a good day to race.
No. So you're going to be out at Great Lakes Dragway in June for the out of street drags again? Out of sight drags, I mean?
We're going to be, what we got so far scheduled is, that I know of is, we've got an ANRA coming up. We have the March meet in May. We've got the Brew City Gassers. That's in Wisconsin at Great Lake Raceway.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Out of sight.
Well, out of sight drags is Byron, isn't it? That's Byron, Illinois, I think.
No, Great Lakes is out of sight drags.
Oh, no, it is? Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll be there in June, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the one the Brew City Gassers put on the out of sight drags.
Okay. Yeah. So looking forward to that. We're gonna be debuting a new funny car that we're doing, the '63 Corvette. So we're kind of anxious to get back there and play with that a little bit.
So you're bringing a different car this time.
Yeah. We're actually starting it's called American Nostalgia Double B Funny Car Association, and these cars are all going to be built kind of to spec the way they were from the 65 to 69 era, and we have a real simple rule of thumbs. But wasn't on the shelf in 1969, you can't put it on the car. And it's trying to get the real diehard nostalgia guys that are into really period correct looking cars, and it's more about the show than it is going out and trying to set records. It's just guys that want to go out and kind of relive the day and show these newer generations what they kind of missed in the day. And it's kind of what our focus point is with it, just to go out and have some fun.
So what's the meaning behind the other car? What Dirty Sanchez?
Oh, you know what? We've got a few names. We haven't come up with anything concrete yet, but basically that car was a dragster, which called Strange Brew, and then we cut the front half of the car off of it basically and stuck a dragster body on it. So I don't know, maybe possibly Stranger Brew. I don't know. We're still fishing, I guess, for some names. But however, it'll be strange. You actually set where the back window is in this thing. We had to cut the back window out of it, so the roll cage comes up back where the fuel cap would be, and so you're actually sitting in the trunk area to drive it. The motor is inside the car behind the windshield, which it's windshield delete, but it sets that far inside the car where the dash would be. So it's pretty cool looking. It's only a 101-inch wheelbase. It's real short, crazy looking thing.
But for the other car that you brought out last year, the Dirty Sanchez, how'd you come up with that name?
How'd I come up with that name, Dirty Sanchez? Oh, man, you put me on the spot. Can I answer that one later? I'll be thinking as we talk.
All right.
So it's the whole new year, and we've actually got one other new funny car we're building as well. So we'll have three of them, and the reason I did that was, to me, there was kind of three different styles of funny cars in the day, and I want to kind of that generation. I kind of want to hit each one of them. But the third one we're doing, I don't know if you're familiar with Jungle Jim Lieberman.
Oh yeah.
So been talking with his son, and he gave me the okay, kind of the green light to recreate the 66, 67 Nova funny car.
Nice.
So we had Glory Day fiberglass bodies back in Pennsylvania. We sent them the specs, where to set the wheel wells and everything on it, and they built the body for us, which they delivered it to us last year in Great Lakes, the Brew City deal. Brought it home. We got the chassis all done, and so we're going to start assembling that. Probably be the next project after this little dragster done we're doing. But so we're looking forward to getting all those cars out there, and hopefully, because this class is really an inexpensive class to run as compared to a lot of them, and just a fraction of running the nostalgia funny cars they run in the Heritage Series. These things are really simple, but they're beautiful, and they put on a great show. So we're hoping we can get, I know of there's about 18 of them being built right now, different people around the United States that are kind of on board with us.
Wow. That's a great thing, Randy.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be something that I never got to see because it was gone before my time. But I'll be lucky enough to be able to drive one, build it, as well as hopefully influence a whole lot of people to go do this. The more the merrier. I'd love to see 100 of them in the staging lane one day. That'd be my goal.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's kind of what we're doing right now.
I would love to be out in Texas this weekend to see the 68 funny cars out there. The funny car chaos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chaos, funny car chaos.
Yeah.
That's in Texas, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of my buddies are back there running that deal. But where are you guys based out of?
I'm about 30 minutes from Great Lakes Dragway.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah, that's my home track. That's my local track.
Oh wow, that's awesome. How's your weather?
Like 42 right now.
Oh, okay. I guess that beats December, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but so other than that, we're just kind of keeping our eyes open. We got a couple dragsters right now in the shop trying to get finished up. We've got one project that I got the car probably 17, 18 years ago, and it just been sitting in one of the back shops, and it was a real long, old top fuel car back in 70, 71, I think was the last time it was ran, and it was almost 200 inches long, so we took it and cut it off, shortened it to 130-inch wheelbase, and we said, well, we'll take this thing and just everything we have laying in the shop, so we don't have to buy new. We originally put a $500 budget on it to build this thing and try to make a 7-second pass with it. So we ended up calling the car the trash can. We're just throwing all the trash we got in on it. And we actually lit it up the other day and started it. So we're going to try to finish it up and have it ready for a testing tune in a week or two. Just kind of a fun thing while the COVID thing was going on. Beat the monotony.
Now, where do you go test it at Formosa?
Yeah. And if they're closed, and we have a landing strip next door called Pozo Creek Runway. It runs the same direction as the drag strip. It's a few hundred yards east of there. We'll just cut the lock on the gate and go in there and borrow it for a few hours and get it done.
That'll work.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. So that's about what we're doing right now.
Yeah, the Byron one, I believe Byron's called the Glory Days?
I think that's the Glory Days, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I with Brucey, I guess that's right. That's Amistad Drag, you're right.
Yep.
And, yeah. So, yeah, we're kind of really looking forward to getting back there again. And then we got a couple other events. We're going to do I think it's, what is that, the Nitro Revival, you guys, Julesburg? No. Oh, the Nitro Revival is Irwindale, but what's the one in Colorado? Tri-State Hot Rod Union. We'll be in Colorado in August, and then we'll be doing the Nitro Revival at Irwindale. Just some of the stuff we got planned, and then we got a trip going up to Seattle, I believe. So it'll be a pretty full summer.
So what car are you running at the March meet?
I'm probably going to run that Corvette too. That's going to be, we're going to kind of shake it down there to get it ready for Great Lakes. That's the plan.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
So let me rewind the clock with you, Randy, and ask you how did you get into drag racing in the first place?
I think it probably all started with slot car track, and building car models and putting them on slot car chassis and running them down the track. But when I was a kid, there was in fact, I have the guy's car here right now, a guy named Ken Brown, Racer Brown out of Ventura. He was kind of a large John Milliner guy, and when I was a kid, he used to, he had a nice enough guy to, give me a little attention. Never had a dad around, and he invited me to go out for a ride in the car with him one day, and we went out and probably made a 12-second pass or something. I was just a kid, and I thought, oh my God, turn the world backwards. And I got out of the car, I was hooked, And so to this day, I still race with him. In fact, we just put a blower motor in his car for the first time. He's had it 51 or 52 Chevy Coupe. He's had it for over 50 years. And so we built a set of Zoomy headers for it right now. We put a blown 540-inch motor in it. And he's going to go from C gas to B gas, which is an 860 index. And but yeah, so he was a big influence on me. And then, I was about 12 years old, walked in and seen a movie. My friend's dad took us to the show and we seen American Graffiti. And man, after coming out of there, it was just hook, line, and sinker. There was nothing else to do but cars for me. And it went from models to big cars. It's just the same thing. We're doing the same thing we did when we were kids, just on a different scale. And instead of melting them and burning them, make them look like they got in a crash when we were bored with them. We just drive them.
So what year did you start drag racing?
I was 15 and a half. That same guy, Racer Brown, invited me to go to a track called Terminal Island down in Long Beach, California. And I was 15 and a half the first time I went on the track. And I think we got some old late mail made a video of it. But it was, I've been going at it ever since. Started pretty young. So
how was your first time experience going on a drag strip?
It was fun, I remember, just try not to embarrass myself, You watch the Falcon car stage, and then you go up the stage, of course, everything goes out the window. But it went good, and then I think the next year I actually won my first drag race, and just like, all right, I'm off and going then, and always enjoyed it. But I tell you, the big shocker for me was thinking back on it was my first dragster I got. I was at Riverside Raceway before it closed, and I was running my Camaro, and it was an 11-second Camaro, and I was just a kid, which was pretty good for the day, and there was a guy there, and he goes, man, I sure like your Camaro. And I said, yeah. I sure like your dragster, old frontage dragster, old Woody Gilmore, 65 chassis, I think. And he said, would you be interested in trading body for body? You keep your motor, I keep my motor. And I go, man, I would. And at that time, there was a million Camaros around, I guess there was a million front engine dragsters, but they weren't at my disposal. So I said, yeah, I'll trade you. So we went home, and Monday he brought his body over, and I gave him my body roller, and we traded off he went. So I took my Camaro motor, and I stuck it in the dragster, and I went to Palmdale Raceway the very next weekend, and I went from an 11-second ride to a low 9-second ride overnight, and it's just a horsepower and weight ratio difference. I remember putting my foot on the brake, and my leg was kind of shaking, going, man, that scared the shit out of me, but I want to do it again. And that small block lasted in there, I don't know, about a month or two, and then we put a big block in it, tried to haul ass. But it was a great experience.
So how long did you drive the dragster for?
So I had that dragster that front engine dragster for a couple of years, and then at that time, your front engine dragsters weren't cool no more. Everybody was in the rears and stuff. So I was kind of like, the nostalgia thing hadn't hit yet. So I was kind of like Johnny come lately. I was by that time people were starting to get the pro street thing was really big. So I got right in, and I built another Camaro with a narrower end and yada yada, and I raced that for a while. And then probably around '92. When it really started getting into all the delay boxes and and throttle stops and all the automatic control. I said, you know what, it's just battle of the deep. Our computer, it doesn't have anything to do with the drag racer and talent anymore. So I said, I'm out of drag racing. I'll go street racing or something before this. So I sold my drag cars, and then a few years later, a buddy of mine goes, man, you got to go to the March meet, man. They're starting to bring all these old cars out. You know, it's more about old cars than it is, you know, new modern race cars. So I went, and that was in '92. And I go, man, this is bitching. So I went back in '93. I found another front-end dragster, put it together, went back in '93 and won the March meet with it. And then we just been going balls to the wall ever since. As this nostalgia thing, it's just gotten bigger and bigger. We've just kind of evolved with it, you know.
Yeah.
And some of it's gone, you know, in my opinion, in the wrong direction, because we'd love to go out and run all top fuel with these guys. It would have been like it originally started to be, but it just started being about time slips and not the show anymore. So we kind of backed off of that. And, you know, these cars, I mean, and I'm not knocking these guys, so it's great. Love watching their stuff. And they work hard at it. They spend a lot of money, and they take a lot of risk, and I appreciate all that. But for us, you know, in 68, 69, cars didn't run in the fives, you know, and they didn't have big wheels and beadlock tires and ground effects, you know, so we're all more into it. We're just kind of stuck in our own little bubble, I guess, and maybe it's a bad thing, I don't know, but it's what we like to do. And so with this double B thing I was telling about earlier, it's going to give people a chance that always want to drive a funny car and not break the bank and love what they were in the day to come out and redo that, you know.
Yeah. So which car was your favorite car to drive?
Oh man, you know, I built a lot of gassers. I love driving gassers. They're fun. I love short cars. You know, I like Anglia and stuff like that. And in fact, I'm building a 38 Boston number 8 right now. They look just like an Anglia, except the doors are suicide in the front. And the windshield, they have a little crank, they kind of crank out like an old Model A kind of thing. And so it's a real short wheelbase thing. So I'm doing one with a Doug Nash 5-speed and all that. And I want to go back and I want to run with the Southeast Gasser guys. So that car will be a fun. But yeah, to answer your question, the short little cars, I like driving the best.
Now, Randy, what do you enjoy most about being a drag racer?
Well, I'm going to say number one. You asked me this a few years ago, and I've said something different, but number one is the people you meet along the way. That's the first thing, the friends, the camaraderie. Second is probably taking something that somebody else had junked or abandoned or something that would, you know, bound for the crushing yard and bring it back to life, you know, building something badass with it. Not only that I like, but somebody walks by and goes, man, that's really cool. You know, I get it. And so I think that's probably the big reward is seeing something, you get something for your time that you put in it and the people you meet along the way.
Now, is there anything that you don't like about being a drag racer?
Yeah, driving. all the time in the car, getting there and coming back. I like driving the car, you know, the few seconds you're in there, but it's just all the driving. You know, we go over the hills, and I say that in the Rockies so many times a year going racing that I just want to fly there and fly back, but it's not fair to my guys, you know, and so you got to kind of rough it out with them. But that's the big drawback is all the seat time in the truck. I hate that.
Now, if you didn't become a drag racer, what do you think you'd be doing with yourself?
If I went to drag racing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, probably flying airplanes or something. God, I don't know. Robbing banks. Shit, I don't know, something. Yeah. But I don't know, you know, you know, we got some old flat bottom boats we like to, you know, play with too. So, you know, probably spend time on the river more. I don't know.
Now, if you could have the fans that come on watch you race remember one thing about you, Randy, what would you want that one thing to be that the fans remember about you?
Well, extremely handsome. No. No. You know what? It would be this guy put his heart and soul into letting us see something we missed from days gone by. You know, this guy brought it out. He nailed it. And I'm going to go home and build one. So I want to bring more people to the sport, new generation, by hopefully influencing them or giving them some foresight as to to getting into this.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you could get more people to get some period correct cars out there.
I got a really quick story. This guy, we call him Hawaiian Dave, really good family. They're from Hawaii. They're living here in Tehachapi now, just east of Bakersfield. But he bought a front engine dragster, and he's pretty proud of it. He brought it over, and we were helping him do a little tuning with it. And we took it out straight here in Mosul, and we did some burnouts. And anyway, so he kind of got her all dialed in, and so we started talking later on that day about this nostalgia double B funny car thing. And I said, I took the strain through it. I cut 4 feet off of it, man. I stuck an old Corvette body on it. And he goes, man, that is so cool, and he called me that night, and he goes, hey, guess what? And I go, what? He goes, I'm buying a 68 Datsun station wagon. I'm cutting my dragster down. I'm going to stick the body on it and make a double B funny car. So you're going to, it's just stuff like that, that's what, it's cool. That's what I'm after. People that come up with crazy ideas and have fun with this.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. So.
Now, do you think you could get any better as a driver? And if so, how do you achieve that to get better as a drag racer?
How can I get better as a driver? Well, I don't know. Probably take it more serious. Because I guess I get lost in the fun more than I do the competition end of it. I can get serious and do okay, but we get there and we start doing the big burnout, the dry hops, and just carrying on and just more putting on a show than we are trying to race. And so sometimes that'll cost you a round or two, but when we get serious, we do pretty good. So I guess the thing would be is buckle down and get more serious about it, the actual competition part.
Now, when you get out there in the staging lanes, Randy, you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions at all?
I guess I think we all do probably. You know what I mean? And my mind, I don't know why, but that song "Play That Funky Music, White Boy" always comes to my mind. I start singing that. I'm getting ready to get. That's when we get down in the rounds, we're in the money rounds and stuff. A song I don't know always calms me.
Wow.
Crazy. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with drag racing, but that's what always comes to mind. I've been singing that song in the final round more than once, I'll tell you. Yeah.
So when you first started drag racing, was your family involved with it?
No, not really. My uncle had a front engine dragster when I was a kid, and I used to had it in his driveway, and my aunt babysat me. I remember a lot of times as a kid, I'd go sneak a popsicle out of the freezer in the garage, and I'd slide down beside the bottom of that dragster in the seat there and eat it. Everybody, so that probably wasn't supposed to be eating the popsicles, but so so a little bit of history in the family with racing, but more than anything, I think it was the people around me, like Racer Brown and people like that, John Milliner, seeing those movies when I was a kid, and Two-Lane Blacktop and Hot Rods to Hell. When you're 10, 11, 12 years old, it's really influential to you.
Did any of your family ever come out and watch you race when you were younger?
What's that? Any of my friends or family? What did you say? I'm sorry.
The family, your mom and dad, anyone, did they ever come out and watch you race?
Yeah. Later. Yeah. They, I never had a dad, but I had some older guy figures in my life, uncles and stuff. That, they did, and my mom really enjoyed it. So, and then my wife, she totally supports it 100%. Whatever you want to do, go do it. I'm in the garage. I put in the first 8 hours, 8 to 5, and then I go on and eat dinner and I come back out. I put in the other 8. I come in at midnight or whatever, and you just, give me a couple days a month and, can do whatever you want the rest of yourself. Make yourself happy. So she's real supportive of it.
Now, when you
Probably
go,
don't want me around her that much, but
now when you go out racing, who are your crew members?
Dusty Clark has been with me. We've been friends since we were kids. James Slacker, been friends with him for many, many years. Stormy Bird, comes with us. He's part of it. In fact, actually, the last few years I've been driving his car quite a bit because they'd been having some back problems and stuff. But so I drove his car quite a bit, probably the last 4 or 5 years on and off. But he's with us, and then there's Kenny Lee. There's a few other guys just jump in and out every once in a while, but the most of it is me and James and Dusty and Stormy and Kenny Lee mostly. They're the only guys that don't argue with me.
Yeah. Now, have you had the most embarrassing moment on the track?
Oh yeah, I've had. You guys, I'll be right with you. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about this. Okay, yeah, there's sodas and water in the refrigerator if you want one. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I'll be right out there. Thank you. Sorry about that, you guys. We get some concrete poured. We're building a new shop back here, a new hot rod shop, so we got the concrete guys out here taking some measurements. But embarrassing moments. Let's see. I've had my wife. She doesn't go with me all the time, but one of the rare times, funny, I had this car that I had bought the night before on a Friday from a guy. It was a race car. He was an older guy getting out of racing, hadn't raced it for years. So I brought it home that night and put it in the shop, charged the battery, and it actually fired up and ran, and all right, cool, I hope I won't have to do too much of this. So the next morning, my wife said, hey, I've seen some cars going on the track, because I live right across the street, most of the drag strip, just down the street a few hundred yards. And she said, a bunch of cars are going to the track. And I said, man, I think maybe I'll run that little Vega over there and just run it and see how it runs. And she goes, okay. And she goes, well, hey, I bought a new camera. I go, why don't you bring it over and film me? She goes, just film the car and I kind of see what it's doing real quick. And she goes, okay. And she never does that. She never goes with me. And anyway, so we went over there and I rolled up the line. She turned the camera on. She's filming it. And then about half track, with a brand new wall, they just poured the brand new concrete barrier wall. No more K-rails. Just one beautiful white studded wall all the way down there. It was beautiful for a little bit. I hit that thing. Tire separated. And I got that big up on that wall for about 300 feet. And I got it all on video anyway. So that was embarrassing, that part. And then the other time I got embarrassed, the big one, was, like I said, I live close to the track, so a lot of times I can just drive the car to the drag strip or whatever. But it was very rural out here, and we get a lot of field mice and stuff. And anyway, so I had a car, a little Opel Cadet that hadn't ran in years, and we decided to take it racing. So we flat-towed it up to the track. As soon as we got in there, I got testing and everything. The guy says, hey, well, right now it's time for you to run. It's test and tune time. So we hauled ass into the lane there, got up there, and we fired the motor right in front of the water box. And I fired it and plugged it in gear and rolled through the water and whacked the throttle. When I did, I blew out probably 15 mice, jelly beans, because the Jolly Rogers guy left me a case of jelly beans, the Jolly Roger wheelie car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Bob Outlaw Jones, he left me a big case of jelly beans when he come up and stayed the night at the house for a race. So I had jelly beans all over the track, mice and dog food and gravel. And the mice were chasing the guy on the starting line with the headphones on. He was running from the mice. And I didn't get to see all that because I was on my way down the track, but everybody told me about it. And I got down to the other end, and I get out of the car and picked my helmet off and said on the loudspeaker, Randy Winkle, would you please leave your driveway gravel, jelly beans, dog food, and mice at the house?
Wow. No, nobody caught it on video, huh?
I don't know for sure. If they had, I never seen it, but I wish they had it.
Wow. Now, when you come up to the Great Lakes Dragway for the out of sight drags in June, do you know if you're gonna be going against the big iron car again?
Yeah, we got a kind of little deal that I don't know if you were there for that last pass we made last year, but on that grudge race thing, our match race, but at about 1,200 feet, I got completely oiled in. I mean, I got at least 5 quarts of oil right in the face. I mean, that car is still dripping oil in the trailer. I couldn't see nothing, and the oil got under the tires. Luckily I was far enough ahead of that big iron car that my car floated over into his lane. I couldn't see anything, and I was trying to watch the wall the best I could, and I would get scalded, burned, but anyway, so we got down to the end, and he goes, man, there was so much smoke coming off your car. He goes, I couldn't even see, and I'm like, no, look at this. But anyway, so he over the winter he done a little bit of smack talking. So I said, all right. I go, well, we'll do the Corvette. We'll do a best 2 out of 3 for that. So we're gonna go back and match race Brent Henry and his family.
Nice.
It'll be a lot of fun, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And anybody else that wants to get in on it, if anybody's listening.
Now, do you have any sponsors?
I don't, and I'll tell you why. Over the years, I've had many opportunities, and I've been very lucky to have them, and offers to drive people's cars. And the reason I don't is because, and I don't ask for sponsorship, is because when you do that, for me, it puts pressure on you. You're expected to perform. You're expected to do a certain amount. They want to get their money's worth. And I'm the kind of guy, if it's too hot, I don't want to go racing. I don't go racing. But you got their name on the car and they're giving you sponsor money, you're obligated. I try to keep it fun. And so I don't ask for that just so I don't have that pressure of having to perform for somebody, give them what they think they need.
Right.
And I think it's more fair that way for the people. So I want to give them 1,000% or nothing, and I know I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. Now, do you have any favorite tracks, Randy?
Oh, they're all my favorite. It's just sad that there's so many of them going away, these days. But for most of them, always been, it's my home track. That's where we live, and that's always got a sweet spot. But probably my favorite, and I never got to race there, would probably be been Long Beach Lions Drag Strip. Just because all the people that went down that track.
Now, do you only do quarter-mile racing, or you do eighth mile too?
We've been doing a little bit more 8 mile lately because some of these smaller tracks back east when we go, that's kind of what they do, and it's pretty cool. At first I thought, no, I don't want to do that. It's just too short. We're not geared for it, this and that. But we're kind of going out and doing it a little bit, and I kind of realized, you know what? I mean, after 660 feet, all you're doing for the rest of that is wait for the motor to blow up. So it's kind of cool, It's just a lot less wear and tear on parts. It's just a shorter ride.
Now, did you think about that Dirty Sanchez yet?
Oh, Dirty Sanchez. Well, man, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of different meanings for it. But when people ask me, especially if it's a church group, I tell them that there's a guy named Greg Sanchez that he hardly ever takes a bath, and he helps us work on the car, so we named it after him. And then I'll tell you the real deal at Great Lakes.
Okay. All right. So now, where do you get your fire safety equipment from?
Where did I get my what? I'm sorry.
Your fire safety equipment. Where do you get yours from?
My fire suits.
Yeah.
Normally DJ safety equipment.
Big Ben.
Big Ben. Yeah. Him and his boss, Big Wally. They're great guys, man. I tell you, they're. You can call them at the last minute, the last hour, the last day, and somehow or another they'll stay and get it done for you. They're ready. Okay. They'll they always make it happen, and those guys got a lot of experience And so I can't say nothing about them. Great people.
All right. So what's been your fastest trip down a drag strip?
Oh, again, we're in the true blue nostalgia stuff, so our deal isn't time stuff, but in the sixes, a little over 200, that's about it. That's our air,
And what?
High sixes.
And what have been the milestones so far in your drag racing career?
Milestone. Well, I got to say, winning the March meet was pretty cool. I won the Nitro National, the Pomona. That was pretty cool. I would say Ben. Ben Bockley. We were at was it the Hot Reunion or March meet? One of those. Hot Reunion. Yeah, we went to New Zealand too. That was we were able to, represent the United States on the Stella drag racing end. So me and Stormy Bird and some others, Randy Walls and Army Armstrong. We went over there and got to race the Kiwi guys, and man, again, met another bunch of great bunch of people over there as well. But I would say the highlight of it was a couple of years ago at the Hot Rod Reunion, a guy came up, him and a buddy, and they were from Washington, and they gave this guy 2 weeks to live, and he wanted to meet us before he died.
Wow. So
that was pretty heart wrenching there. I'll tell you. So we put him in the car and let him fill it and all that stuff, and then there we go. Anyways, and then so the funny thing, well, it's not funny, but 2 weeks later he went back and we'd give him a Smoke Speed Shop jacket and some T-shirts and stuff, and he was a great guy, bravest man I ever met in my life. And he died a couple weeks later and wanted to be buried in a shirt and jacket. And the thing was, this guy had more money than God. He had his own TV show. He didn't come. A guy. Why somebody want to spend the last 2 weeks of their life meeting a ding dong like me, Stormy or whoever, even come down and spend any time with us? Crazy. But then when you got a guy that could have had the money to do anything in the world he wanted to, and did that. It was just, I was blown away by it.
Wow.
And then to want to be buried in our jacket and shirts, just, I don't know. It still gets me today.
Yeah. So what did he die of?
Cancer.
Yeah, cancer takes too many of our friends and family.
Yeah, for sure. It don't have any boundaries, that's for sure.
Yep. So outside of drag racing, do you have time for any other hobbies, Randy?
I do. So I like riding motorcycles. Rode dirt bikes my whole life. We love, my kids and grandkids now. Everybody's riding. We love hill climbing, trail riding. Got Harley Davidsons. I got actually, did a lot of, not a lot, but a fair amount of drag bike racing. I've got a drag bike now, Harley, and we run from time to time. Other than that, we got, the old flat bottom boats. We like to take those out. And, just whatever, I'm game for whatever sounds good.
Now, have you had any wrecks or close calls in your drag racing career so far?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, let's see. The most recent was, we went out and drank too much one night. I own a bar, by the way, and so we went. We were doing a bunch of entertaining. We stayed up all night, didn't get enough sleep, and the next morning I was running a real short wheelbase little 67 Opel cadet car, and I pulled into the burnout box and to get ready to make my burnout. And Stormy come up and opened the door, and he said, "Hey man," he said, "you got a lot of smoke and shit coming out of the exhaust of this thing." And what it was the day before we got into the money round, so we were just in there the next morning. I said, "Well, I get out of the way, I'm gonna clean it out." So I stuck it in neutral and blasted the throttle 4 or 5 times, and he gave me a thumbs up and cleared out. Well, what happened was the blow the head gasket burnt between the cylinders. So this thing had a big old blown motor in it. It was way too much smoke in the car anyway. And so at the motor, and it blew the head gasket out and dumped everything out on the tires. And then I literally drove the car. At that point, it was just going all over the place. And so I rode like you would a dirt bike. I used the power in the car to get it straight, and the thing actually got up on that retaining wall and rode the top of that retaining wall. And it's a really neat picture because the guys took the picture. The car's coming head on at you. The butterflies are wide open on the throttle, and the tires are just tall and skinny where it looks like they're going to come off the rim, and it's wide open throttle while I'm up on top of the wall. I'll try to send you that picture. And so when I came off the wall, then we got back in the oil again, did some spin outs, and hit the wall a few times. But that was probably the worst, and the close almost happened was last year before last that the funny car was in the middle of the track. I don't know. Anyways, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was driving Stormy's Roadster, and we were in a competition round, and we got set down the track, and so the tower fell to sea, the starting line people fell to sea, and the ambulance drivers. There was a funny car that the steering rod had come disconnected. He was sideways across the center lanes of the track. And so, I'm busy watching the Christmas tree come down, and I jam, and I'm looking at everything going down the track, and then when I look up, just before the finish line, there's a funny car stretched out right across the road. And so I just put the car up against the wall. There was enough room just to barely get that. And the car wouldn't have made it with that dragster, just barely made it through. I skimmed the wall and missed the car and made it through. But that was bad enough for me, but the funny car driver was inside that thing. He goes, "I heard you leave." He goes, "I heard the blower coming." And he goes, I just crawled up the ball. He goes, because I knew I was dead. And I said, "I know." And I go, and I didn't see him go 1,000 feet. He was probably 1,150 feet. And so that was my almost.
Wow.
Yeah, an ambulance driver just sitting there on his cell phone punching buttons. Never even. I don't know. It was just a circus of errors is what it was. But just luckily nobody got hurt. And I'm not saying anything bad about anybody because 99% of the time, drag racing is very safe. It just, I guess everybody got busy doing something else at that particular moment.
So what's been your fondest memory in drag racing?
I guess I don't have it yet. Had a lot of good fun times, but I don't know. Ask me in another 20 years.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Like I said, just a lot of fun. Made a lot of nice people.
All right. Well, Randy, I want to thank you very much for taking this time to do the interview today.
Yeah, you bet, man. Thanks for calling and letting me rattle on.
Oh, no problem. Any final words?
Okay, well, we'll see. Hope everybody listening made it through the colder. Hope everybody's good. Nobody lost nobody. And, you guys are ever at the track, make sure you come up and shake hands with us.
Yeah, stop by the pit area and say hi to Randy.
Yeah.
He won't bite you.
That means the most. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks again, Randy.
Y'all take it easy.
You too. Have
Bye-bye.
a good day. Bye.